Hello, my name is Fidelis. Welcome to my channel. I have a desire to help people understand life, to discover themselves, to know their full potential, and to release that potential into the world so we can change the world. I know many people think, oh, the country is against me, oh, the president is against the common man, but in reality, change starts with you. The president is where he is because of what he did to plant that seed to get him to become a president now. So if you focus on what he's doing instead of focusing on your day, what does that tell you about you? What seed are you planting in the future to keep complaining? You know, it's almost hurtful for me to make a phone call to anyone right now who's in my home country, because every phone call, everybody I talk to, they seem so hopeless. It's like, in my world, I understand it as this person thinks that the president went and spoke to God and told God, God, forget these people. But that's not true. Nobody has the power, the ability to block your blessings unless you let them. And by focusing on what the president is saying, or focusing on what the leaders are saying, or focusing on the curfew itself, is you giving away your power, you know? I remember recently we were driving with my husband and I had seen a sticker on a car in front of us that said, in 2020, while others were complaining of COVID-19, this is what we did. And there was the name of their business. Okay, so this person must have sat and realized he's not an essential employee, so he probably got laid off, but he still had to provide for his family. So he decided to create something different from what he had always believed, that you have to always be employed, and decided to employ himself. And by focusing all that energy to his new business, he was proud of it, and he was ready to go around telling everybody in an indirect way that while others were complaining in 2020 about COVID-19, this is what we did. And that's a story I want to give 5 years from now, 10 years from now. And for me to give that story 5 years from now, 10 years from now, it means that right now is the most important time. Right, like today, like right now, whether you're watching this today, it's your today as you watch it. You get it? It's the most important time, because you can either plant seeds or you can just be busy watching other people planting their seeds. When it comes time to go get your harvest, you know, what did you invest? What did you plant? You'll have nothing, because all you did was complain. And so guess what? While others are picking up the fruits of their labor, you will still be complaining. So I might as well save your number on my phone as George the Complainer or Jane the Complainer. I strongly believe that for you to achieve that which you want to achieve, you have to align yourself with your goal. You have to be very specific with what you want in your life. And that means you have to associate yourself with people who are doing what it is that you're trying to do. And personally, I'm not trying to complain. So I am not trying to associate myself with any complainers. And if anyone brings any problem to me, guess what I'm doing? Hey, check out my YouTube channel. Check out my YouTube channel. So if I've told you check out my YouTube channel, I mean, reading between the lines, that's exactly it. I do not like complainers. I would rather you are doing something about it, because in the process of doing something about it, you will discover something very huge within you that you have sat on for many years. You know, it's funny because I was telling a story about my mother. The other day. She had shared a story that when she was still in Africa, in Kenya to be specific, and I was here in the US, and her business wasn't going very well. And so she had decided, instead of going to the store and just sitting there all day and no customers, no sales, because she had no stock, okay? She had decided to start using her hands to create. And she started knitting sweaters, knitting ponchos, knitting little bags, little socks for kids, outfits for kids. And she told me that someone had come by with a car and had bought everything and given her, I believe it was like fake money, only for her to realize after the person had left that all the works of her hands had gone with that guy, and here she was with fake money. And you can imagine the frustration. As a mother, now I understand, because I try to do everything I can to provide for my kids, because I truly love my kids. And if I was to put all my effort into something and then some ill-hearted person decides to come and con me, I know it would really break my heart. But it's in that breaking of your heart, first you have to surrender to it. Say, you know what, that person really hurt me. Don't pretend you're fine, because of course you're not. That person hurt you. And because that person actually hurt you, what are you going to do about it? Personally, I believe that my God is a living God. He's a God that sees everything. He's a God that's always listening. He's a God that's always guiding me. So my mother did what she knows best. And she said, you know what? I will not give up. I will try something else. And I think she ended up getting veggies, and she was selling veggies, and it was doing pretty well. Now, fast forward, a few years later, my mom is now here in America with me. And she went back to her hobby of knitting. And let me tell you, she makes such precious, precious, precious items. You know, I will post a video next so you can just see it. Because I honestly, every time I see what my mom makes, my heart melts. And I ask myself, why have I been going to the shop to get all these things and my mother could make them for me? I could just buy the yarn and she could make them, you know? And now she is making them and selling them. Back in Kenya, she would sell one for like $2.50, which is about 250 shillings in Kenyan shillings. And here, oh, mom is selling them at such a good price. And I told my mother, you know, Mom, think about it. God was trying to tell you that yes, you've discovered what your gift is. And yes, you're willing to work with your gift and do this knitting work with so much love, with so much energy, with so much passion. And God said, you know what, my daughter, I will reward you. You just wait. And now my mom sits here and she tells me, you know what, Fidelis, I feel like I came to Canaan. I'm happy. I'm very happy. And for me as a daughter, hearing that from my mother is the world. That's the world to me, because all I ask for God is to make sure that my parents are happy. And for me to hear that from my mom means that I don't have to worry about her, because now she's happy. She's very, very happy. And the same applies to you. What is it that you're dealing with right now and you're holding on to, and you're like, oh, I can't let this go. I can't let this go. Because God is telling you, let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Once you let go, God will just bring something else for you. We were speaking with my mother when I was much younger, and she said, you should always have your hands like this. God gives you. God takes and gives those that really need it more than you. But you will always have your feel. But if you hold on to what God has given you, there's no opportunity for God to add anymore. Your hands are closed. So using that analogy, I always keep my hands like this. Listen, if you borrow me $5,000 and I have $5,000, I'll give you $5,000. Why? Because I know in a few days I will get like $15,000. That's just been my experience. That has just been my experience. God is always taking care of you. And I completely understand now why God works in mysterious ways. God creates a path in a place where you didn't think it could even exist. It could even exist. So this is my call to you. Stop holding on so much. Stop holding on so much and let go. Because once you let go, once you tell God, God, I'm letting go and I'm letting you will see the wonders of God. But that's the thing. You have to believe in Him. It's not a test. You're not testing God. You have to believe in Him. And believing in Him means letting go and not trying to understand how that thing will come to you. And just right when you're relaxed and you're thinking about something else, it just knocks on your door and there it is.